Court restrains Martin Amehule-led lawmakers from parading themselves as assembly members. Governor Fubara to commission electrical village set to begin payment of bursary. Stakeholders react as use of old national anthem becomes law. And on the foreign scene, Hong Kong convicts 14 pro-democracy activists. I'm Ife Chukwumoyele with the news. Rivers State High Court has granted an interlocutory injunction restraining Martin Amehule and 24 others from parading themselves as members of the State House of Assembly. Justice Charles Wiley, in his decision, asked Martin Amehule and 24 others to stop meeting or sitting at the House of Assembly quarters along Aba Road, Port Harcourt, or any other place to carry out the legislative business of the State Assembly. The court restrains the state government or its agent from dealing with, interfacing, or accepting any resolutions or bills from Martin Amehule and the 24 others. Recall that on the 10th of May, the same High Court in Port Harcourt, presided over by Justice Charles Wiley, granted a restraining order stopping the Amehule-led lawmakers from sitting at the House of Assembly auditorium pending a hearing on the motion on notice. Moving on, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara will today commission Phase 1 and flag off Phase 2 of the Port Harcourt Electrical Village. The Electrical Village is located along Port Harcourt-Aba Expressway, Port Harcourt. The event is part of the Governor's one-year in office ceremony. Yesterday, while giving account of his stewardship and presentation of his scorecard, Governor Fubara promised to begin the payment of bursary to Rivers State students in tertiary institutions.
Know that you've been complaining of your bursary. I'm going to take care of bursary. We are going to commence the process of payment of bursary. I think that is the most important thing. Even if you want to engage me in interactive session, it's issue of bursary. No other thing. So let me assure you that your bursary issue here and now, I've made the commitment, we are going to effect the payment.
The government also said he would soon sign an executive order to establish the State Investment Promotion Agency to aid investment opportunities in the state.
And that is creating an investment promotion agency. So we intend to do that. And as a matter of fact, I should be signing that executive order for the end of this week, so that once we have the investment promotion agency, it becomes a one-stop shop where your question, take it to them, they handle it. It is only the one they cannot resolve, they now come to me. So that issue, like I said, it will be resolved in a couple of days.
The governor further revealed that his administration inherited over 34 uncompleted projects worth over 225 billion naira when he assumed office. He, however, said his administration has so far initiated projects worth over 534 billion naira.
The fact and figures shows that we inherited 34 uncompleted road projects worth over 225 billion spread across 13 local government areas of Rivers State. Out of this number, 12 including Oyibo, the Amok Ebema Road, the Ebeda Internal Road, have all been completed.
He also spoke on the reason for the delay in employment of 10,000 civil servants.
60% of those names are over 8. The names that people brought for political patronage. After this analysis of those things, I said, how would you employ somebody who is 52 years old as a civil servant? How many years is the person going to work before retirement? I directed them that we should do a new process where those people that we will take must be within the age of 30 and 35. And secondly, prayer structure we have that time is not the political structure we have now. So there's no way I will allow that one to pass.
On the political crisis in the state, Governor Fubara said the worst is over.
In the CSP crisis, barely 3 months into our tenure, was not just an ordinary political crisis. It was a vicious existential crisis. But thank goodness, the worst is over. Defended our rights, an opportunity to govern our state and advance its progresses in freedom, and we will continue to prevail.
Meanwhile, some residents of Port Harcourt have expressed mixed reactions following Governor Fubara's statement that the worst political crisis is over.
Nobody knows what is going to happen tomorrow, but for him to say such a thing, he's sure that he has everything under control.
For him to confidently say the thing, though, unless he knows something maybe we don't know. But as for the fact that the other party involved hasn't said anything, just hope that everything has ended and we go back to business as usual and everything feel day normal.
It's a lot. It's not just this River State's power that he has. There is more backing him to it.
I know that this year crisis will not just stop immediately. We don't want something good has happened. I feel that maybe they've reached an agreement. Maybe himself is not ready again for the battle, and maybe the FCT minister too has decided that he wants to stay on his own.
The statement of the governor is valid. The governor has shut down the mouth of his critics by doing more work to Rivers people.
In another development, an unidentified young man was electrocuted early yesterday while attempting to steal armored cable from a transformer along Mboba NTA Road in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State. Correspondent Emekotoka reports that the man, who was severely burnt, was removed from the transformer by police and PHED officials after residents alerted them to the incident. It was gathered that this was not the first time the armored cable had been vandalized. Eyewitnesses spoke to our correspondent.
Come here this morning by 7 o'clock. But our manager now called us one man like that came to steal our wire cable from the transformer. That is dead, that the transformer shocked him. They find his dead body on the ground there. We know that he was not the only one that came to that. And this is not the first or second they have steal that cable.
It was around 3 a.m. in the morning when the transformer spark blew high. The next morning when I came back to work, where they work for ITES, we come finally hear say somebody died there. We go cut the armored cable we attached to the transformer.
In other news, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwoola, has summoned the Chief Judges of the Federal High Court and the Kano State over conflicting orders issued by the court in Kano on the emirate tussle in the city. The Director of Information of the National Judicial Council, Soji Oye, confirmed the invitation to newsmen on Wednesday in Abuja. Still to come, stakeholders react as use of old national anthem becomes law. Stay with us. Said this following the reactions to the adoption of the old national anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee. Speaking on Nigeria 4FM's Morning Crossfire, Mr. Tamono said that if Nigerians had expressed their concerns earlier regarding the proposed bill, an amendment could have been made.
The timing, is this the proper time? And the other one is to tie the timing to the prioritization. I don't think there is any particular time that is appropriate or inappropriate for the changing of the national anthem. But I have a little concern that when this matter came up, we did not see Nigerians reacting the way they ought to react. Perhaps if all these reactions had come, maybe there would have been an amendment, or if not an amendment, at least maybe in terms of timing, and readjusting the timing.
Mr. Tamono also reacted to the belief that the old national anthem would foster greater patriotism among Nigerians.
Let me go straight to your question, and also to remind you that the national anthem speaks to the aspirations of a country. That is number one. Number two, I also want to remind you that nation building is work in progress. It's work in progress. Number three, let me add a third one, that we are all Nigerians. All of us, we are part of it. And if I may add, number four, we are also operating.
Meanwhile, some secondary school students in Port Harcourt have expressed different views following the adoption of the old national anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee.
Well, it depends on how the anthem is going to sound. If it's suitable like words and anthem, I'm going to like it, but let's see to it. I don't know yet. Yeah, of course, learning new things is like one of the things I enjoy. I enjoy learning new things. Yeah,
I love to learn it. I don't know that I can learn the old one, but because I'm too familiar with this one we are doing now.
I'm not excited about it. No, I'm not being able to learn it because I prefer this one that we are using more than the old one.
As you may know, President Bola Tinubu yesterday signed the National Anthem Bill 2024 into law, reinstating the old anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee. Moving on, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, says its surveillance efforts suggest illegal practices in the food chain are responsible for the increase in food prices across the country. This is as the FCCPC, led by its South-South Zonal Coordinator Uchebu Chukwuma, embarked on fact-finding interactions with traders associations and marketers to ascertain factors responsible for the continuous hike in food prices. Mr. Chukwuma, who spoke with journalists during the market survey, explained that the Commission would develop a concise report of its inquiry and make recommendations to the government in accordance with the FCCPA. He said the Commission's priority is to unlock the market and address key consumer protection and competition issues affecting the prices of commodities in the food sector.
The federal government is not happy that the goods in the market is still very up. Why the dollar cost started coming down? Because all of us said that the reason why the goods went up was because dollar was going up, right? So we now are sent to go and do a survey from you people direct. We want to find out, what do you think that is causing this thing to be up, and what do you think that the federal government can do to help so that these goods can come down?
He said FCCPC's surveillance efforts suggest participants in the food chain and distribution sector, including wholesalers and retailers, are allegedly engaged in conspiracy, price gouging, hoarding, and other unfair tactics to restrict or distort competition in the market, restrict the supply of food, manipulate and inflate the price of food in an indiscriminate manner.
My major take home, one, we have found out that there's a lot of money these people pay from point of purchase. You have been with me. There's nobody that we interviewed that didn't say the same thing. From Benue State to this place, each truck paid not less than 190 to 250. Not anything that is legal to illegality. They pay it to touts. Each local government, each community will take their own.
Broad-based policies and review economic activities in Nigeria to identify and address anti-competitive, anti-consumer protection and restrictive practices to make markets more competitive while also ensuring fair pricing for consumers. During the visit at the popular oil mill market in Obiakpo local government area, Secretary of the Fruit and Vegetable section of the market, Daniel Kallo, said the major challenge they face as traders is double taxation. He said they pay for everything in the market from the point of harvesting in the market where they buy, they pay dues on the roads, they pay dues from pole to pole till they get to their final destination. He said insecurity is also affecting food production in the north. On the spot, Chairman of the Bishop Okoye Shop Owners Association in Port Harcourt, Sabinus Osigwe, said the government should do whatever they can to reduce the problem of inflation. He said if the government can remove these people on the road that collect illegal money, it will go a long way because they harm their business. Other traders lamented that things were getting tougher on a daily basis in the country. Some of the traders at the various markets visited in Port Harcourt pleaded with the federal government to rescue the masses from the food crisis.
Expenses money. The Cameroon tomato land is, they are buying it there now is 15,000. Calculate the transport and everything. This land here 22,000. They are selling it 25,000. So now the cost of all those things is fuel. We are begging our country, our elders, may they help us.
My name is Love Patrick. One rubber beans, I dey buy 2,000. But for now, one rubber beans I dey buy 6,000 naira. 150,000 naira. I cannot. One rubber kerosene 1,000 naira. Gary 5,000 naira for rubber. I beg we try to help us. I beg.
In business, President Bola Tinubu says he would soon transmit the 2024 Supplementary Appropriation Bill to the National Assembly to enable his administration to continue in its task of providing good governance to Nigerians. In entertainment, comedian and social media influencer Brain Jotter says he raised over 20 million naira for a physically challenged fan, Queen Onwunachi. In sports, Manchester United are considering a swap deal involving 22-year-old England striker Mason Greenwood and Atletico Madrid's 24-year-old Portugal forward João Felix.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Hong Kong has found 14 pro-democracy activists guilty of subversion in the largest use yet of a China-imposed national security law. They were among the 47 activists charged with trying to overthrow the government by organizing an unofficial primary in 2020 to pick candidates who can run for office.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's Rabbling News this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Rivers State High Court has restrained the Martin Amehule-led lawmakers from parading themselves as assembly members. Governor Fubara East Commission Electrical Village promised to begin payment of bursary. Stakeholders are now reacting differently as the use of old national anthem becomes law. And on the foreign scene, Hong Kong has convicted 14 pro-democracy activists. The news was edited by Onyekachi Nwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.
We take off with the biggest conversation.